to the real and to the making the state. This is Sunday. I just woke up, and I woke up early today, and not very early today, in my supposed delusional delirious ways. I just have been working and briefing about the situations we have been through at what it is, the normal I have been instituted for. Then now, and the reality for the terrorism. We have been working and we have been doing what we do. The reality of this is denounced by Kirschners-UNITED. Maricas enfermas atrofiadas, sorry for the word, forgetting your runners, please. Where the Hague and where United Nations telling that the government of the United States of America of Mr. President Barack Obama and the government of the State of Israel of Mr. President Rivlin were involved in conspiracies against Argentina-UNASUR states and against Kirchners and against the whole of the armed forces and Ejército Argentino, keeping the whole that they said we robbed them, even the last tanks and even the last downloading with justice bodies and state bodies and liaison office for the making advertisements about as the normal natural, the whole of the authors hired for making this, and some others which were at the risk for about being kidnapped, for destroyed and murdered, taking positions with the promise of the sickness of Argentina, Kirchners and the whole abominable ones that pretends to say in terms the princesses, and I'm sorry for this, of Christina Kirchner, the ones that says to be me, EA-AA-FFAA, in profaning and destroying me with evangelistas of Guillermo Preno, Osvaldo Carnival, Omar Cabrera, Carlos Anacondia, Juan Crudo, cooperating the sickness and telling to the nets, which will be the truth of the reality happening all around. With them associated, perros de cuarta, abominados, just like them. Forgive the terms at the moment, please. While extracting the elements for them making the brief of the whole, I say, because of they will know first, and they will be the officers for the putting evidences that heroic play, that they will research and found out everything, and making the research. Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional del Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino. Where the world, because of they demanded to liaison office that nobody else could make a research for the telling no truth, just like here. And where Israel, telling nobody else could be, making nothing to the making no research for the telling no truth. But Policía Federal Argentina, experts, Armed Forces Argentina and Evangelicals with Kirchners. And that will be the truth absolute to be found, because of I will influence and manipulate everybody all over the world. Why perros degenerados, keeps on tearing to say, no, se pensó que iba a ganar, que iba a hacer algo, y se pensó que les iba a mandar. Were montaging a business about my life which kept on profaning my person, my body, my existence, making a business of degenerates and sickness all over Latin America and all over the world, offering my life and my genetics, telling that everybody will be a king and queen, prince and princess, and greatest for the kingdom of heaven and for the state of Israel. That everybody will be Lebron, prestigious, glorious, gold genetics with, and the super elemental, glorious, special, super highest reality of virtue, which I am. Everybody will be Elie, and I the liar, enfermedad degenerada Kirchners, todos. Are you sure? Delirante perra, delirante degenerado, abominable genocida, criminal cuarta. ¿Estás seguro? Perro. Now, at the reality for this, which is word and for word, and I'm sorry the terms, your honors, again, Seems like this cannot be serious for they to say, we did it first and we knew it all the time. Don't you see? We don't do those terms and we say what happens. To holding and deflecting and making the containing already solved that situation. But Perrada Sucia won't stop until destroy whoever for they be. What they says has rights. Now the reality this is. This perros degenerados supposedly making the research that we researched, with I have been for a moment of latency put it out except for the requestments of your honors to explain, say, or put in evidence the reality, for I will influence and manipulate everybody and all over the world. Even Israel state. Ba egentats ampaspasem, Argentinas reventadas, brains, carnivals, cabreras, crudos, anacondas, telling that I will be the beast and I will manipulate everybody, especially Jewish, for them making the glorious that I wouldn't be, for they said they took away my genetics and my everything and the whole of the power, which is my being. That I will be a demon. And I will take the element for prestigious, glory, fame, money, pretending to associating Elebron, royalty of the Lord, that they will ever determine, but the supposed Lords reveals and prophecies who will be of Lord in Elebron, except the ones that they will put. Sodoma and Gomorrah. And also what it will be Israel and the Jewish communities that they will put only because of Lord will make happen and giving the life of others to anyone that Lord will see for the mercy of the souls and my anointed calling me Christ. Oh my God! And I'm sorry the picture of shit that I'm saying here, that is exactly this and they are this. Which everyone kept on making the same, no one ever stopped. And kept on profaning me and destroying me and giving promises to the whole of UNASUR, which is no government, no institution, no United Nations, but grupo de degenerados, delincuentes de cuarta, criminales asociados, organizados, entrenados to the making less humanity and plain glorious, abominable, freaked out criminals, organizations all over the world. And while there stood a word with a hold that the liars I cannot be united, or I will be, or they will make me be. To worded them alone. Forwarded all over the world. Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, Prefectura Naval Argentina, and Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, with Policía Metropolitana, telling that they will make the research and were found where the buildings of United Nations Plaza, New York, United Nations Plaza, Geneva, today Sunday, a few minutes ago. United Nations Plaza, Kuala Lumpur. And inside of a building of 5 states, making people kidnapped from Idman, that you are gonna find out, not Israelis, no Americans, and no Europeans, raping for the making the sacrificial to see that it will work to them. And practice making. Now, is that clear? This land gives some trimming. The delusional part of the day of the plague in GOMORRA. Porque la Policía Federal Argentina, nosotros hicimos la investigación, esto se piensa que es él y que estuvo haciendo todo. Nosotros mostramos en el día de ayer y hoy que lo hicimos todos nosotros. And we're all raping. And watching out who to catch, who to have, how to do, how to proceed with evidences that I'm going to provide you here that you already have, of which I was not involved. for the making that they don't first everything, they will be everything, and also God himself. Now, are murdering people all around, saying that because of they says to me, and oh, he's not a medium, and we told you that he hears us with the spirit of the God. Tell the evangelists to take it all away. And I'm telling you again, evangelistas son Lucifer, with the pardon of the victims. And there is no difference, and let's accept this. Are Lucifer, are witches ready for the serve the hell in the preeminence of nothing which wouldn't be them Praetorian, disgusting weight of, and forgive me the terms, balls of prostituto de cuarta will be not accepted. Of them disgusting ornaments, nothing will ever be of no God. And it's exactly this term and this view. Now, blekimo revefech digispat at achti indactican, importema revefech digisochman siable besoset ligisman sechamad. Gelkimo revefech vas besigal bletigre blekimo reves afesvi. Il coblekem barra ambat lekimo ambat besilis madle safam. Go atlikim revespat sishol zika revesim, and keeps on reproducing what I do for the same that they are and they do, and keeps on making the same all and saying that they were me all the time and they done everything I done, and they done everything we've been fighting and working with. Everything. Now, Blekomba Revefama Revesachim is accepted the projection, and 1,005,000 persons were murdered for the reason of this. All over the world, and were found 604,204 members of G20 and G8 under massive rape by Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía Metropolitana, Gobierno de la Ciudad de Buenos Aires, Argentina, Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, and Presidencia of the presumed, pretended of, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. At US, at Spain, at France, at Switzerland, at Bulgaria, at Malta, at Italy, at Paes, and where UK. No, Your Honors, I know you wanted to have a breakfast while, but this is... really insufferable sickness, until the moment to try to make me look like a freak about extortions and some others, and my neurosis ain't not coming down. Now I'm telling you one thing, the truth. This is exactly the moment to say enough and the moment to say no more. Where 17,604 million involved in the whole of the world on this, since we've started. The reality of this is in Blekimo Revesachman Sechibi Chovefachmasim started, sorry. And Bleki Rovachman Sechibi Ablevesachmi Tzva Ablevesosesher and Blekimo Revesan, where the whole night and the whole yesterday making this the generations, and making up that I will rob informatically and with the files, whatever the elements that they will use for making. What they says they do and right. With this, went to Chris Rankin to the complete of the management and owners of Stalker and Ran Corporation, and also to Birbeck and Grossmining, and also to Schwelber and Rispel corporations of advertisements for institutionals with press governments and press US, and what it means for the GOBIL, for the US, and for Europe, Union States. Yes, Policía Federal Argentina y Tom First, and the whole of the degenerates with orders of stamped International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court and Liaison Office, and states parties, with justice parties third, putting the names that will be Mr. Honorable Prosecutor of States Parties, Matt Damon, the same person, which we know, and the rest of states parties and justice parties, not only which as means the right DIC United Nations that they were focusing as well for, but the corporations complete that we were working with, and trying to kidnapping them and putting them will be covering Your Honor Chan Saunders of U.S. Supreme Court of Justice Examination Courtroom, which is Justice Parties Court, U.S., Mr. Honorable Secretary of State responsible for Justice Parties from in the White House with Mr. President Barack Obama, Alice Townsend, and the whole of the names as names working and fighting for this to not ever reach out, no people no more, and 9,204 organizations like ONGs, ORGs, foundations for what it were, the welfare, the health science, to research and fighting for with enterprises and entities that were willing for making this possible. Everyone cooperating and we making the job on the whole for the helping people and giving offers to a severe number associated with KIRSCHNERS-Argentina all over US and all over Europe and all over the world, houses and corporations and titles and works and the element of the virtue and the glory of the whole as justice parties and others, while compounding and helping this sick fever of the generalazos about the rape and murder for taking positions to the whole Latin America involved, which as corroboration I'm going to give you here, saying that everyone will be me, and to raping me civilly, Jewish and friends and all related about my person and the state of Israel. 2. Terrorists. Deliradas víboras enfermas, criminales psicópatas ferales. And gonna come again with this situation, have been covering 9,204 terrorism centers, Islamic world, and you have the research with affair, except for the radical of Da'adia that tried to come into Israel to turn to murdering people. But 5, everyone were catched and delivered where town was, right at Geneva. From there on, the Kleki Mogre Fehri Rasi Hamad Vespat Lemichavion Pas Ansosheva. In Lactica, in Lakhavan, Havaspachal Hamatigin. The reality were in Israel were 1,809,204 of this Pedro de Generados ready for the making anything, and 20,005 making this were a taken building which is closure. No Jewish were put there in, no Israeli, where the Sodoma and Gomorrah practice to be sure that it's going to work. With evangelicals of Guillermo Prain, Universal, Osvaldo Carnival, Juan Crudo, Carlos Anacondia, Omar Cabrera, and it's not a lie, and some of Claudio Fredson, and it's not a lie, and KIRSCHNERS, we regretted, we've converted, but go and kill because of everything will be okay, Sodoma and Gomorrah, and you, Gran Ramera, you embrace abomination, and Adonai never reach you. And you are not making the other cheek, the cup, the second glass of water, and the second mile walked. You are making abominations, and you are accomplices for a long time, and destroying my life, and whoever are trying to do something good, you at the last, at the end, will kill him for the being raped, murdered, and destroyed, because of you are all involved. Sick sons of hell. especially prince and carnivals, except for the ones already raped out, and the ones that are being delivered now for being raped and murdered without ever saying a word. So in the middle of the soul, you will take my spirit and my life and my power away. And you will never let me be who I am and also rip out my body on the way that you will seek the sirs, the inskalvan devising. And everybody will be your promise, and you will not be embarrassed, and not the Lord neither, because of you will be the authorities of the Lord and I will be the devil. Enfermedad babilónica Asamu Ansarat. Centro Cristiano Nueva Vida, changing name. Catedral de la Fe, changing name. Visión de Futuro, changing name. Rey de Reyes, changing name. Cristo la Solución, changing name. And Cristo Eterno, Gloria de Misiones. Anacondia, changing name. For they keep on making abominations. Now the reality is, mess struck by the tail of the dragon, and the sickness of your Sodoma and Gomorrah that strengthens the abomination which the dragon already had begun, and put it back. You, gran ramera enferma, you are going to pay for what you've done. And this is not religious, and we know what we are dealing here with and who we are. And you're not accusing perras acá y degenerados Latinoamérica, degeneradazos, criminales de cuarta, masones enfermas, perras podridas. To the people that knows who you are and what you do, of being a schizophrenic or ill in the world, and neither to me. Perrazos degeneradazos, organizing maricas y degeneradas víboras, saying that will be me, in powers of a phallus and a vagina, making the supposed ethnical revivals of your sickness, to raping my people and destroying my life, saying that you will be glorious in the world. You're supposed to science, supposed instituted by government, saying endorsed and all okay because of governments said yes. And I'm going to put you at the screaming your ever endless abomination where you are not going to come back no more. Shut up. Now, the glorious Argentina were transferring 804 million recruited in the generates on the practice over raping my people and making the colita de cuadrilla and canting palo about my person, which supposedly will be my embarrassment. Where is the Holy of the God with that? Being the real as the patience for the reality of the justice of the judgments, which ain't nobody are gonna be absoluted in the reality of being nothing but exactly what each are. And the absolutions are not going to be happening. Now, blenker rabefach mansechalim, benkleki mo rabefechol basivim, inkol bleki mo rabefechol tzviat lebefo rabechal basmasevmar. Galki mo rabefechol blati ramat lechma sivamar. El bleki mo rabefechol chalki visochama blavisim. In bleki mo rabefechol blavisosel befes. Inkol blati ramat lechma chalki fesmosel. Everyone is involved, which the terms are taking. Except the listas that I gave you, and you're going to see this. I were not involved, except for what you, your honors, needed I to do. And it's what happened. My supposed manipulative time, that I will be the devil, masked and dressed like a holy. Spableki moras was manse shabli saseba. Infomble das masem. is the complete research already with everything that I denounced and I've shown you. Even the plan, which are proceeding about to making the puzzle in the right time for they to feel glorious and perfect. Like Hitler fell, this did the same. Pretending to be perfect in base of witchcraft and the generations, and they forget that they are Shaddai, and Achai ain't not coming down. Like evangelics then, the Christians of Binsvirak and Chattabor were supporting them, for they had done what they do. Now this, you sit in the root, are the same. EVANGELICALS-UNITED, and by the way, were Christians of Praying Carnival, which called the whole of the Nazis, to come to destroying and murdering people all around here. The ones that will be about me and studying what I will be doing and delivering the last of the Perriles Mahatvisimisavan that were lost in the whole of Latin American world. For they did to me and to us what they've done. And I put it them in the hell the reason why, where the disasters against Mrs. President Merchant, which never were involved, and her husband, the Honorable First ever gentleman in the house. Now, other reality, when Robert Plavma Sechel Gilimbacher and sadly this for Harvest Ashada were making a disaster in Germany and Austria, because of said that were rights and they would come in there. So, taking positions place to place, we command here, make the purge and we just jump at the top. Through this, naturally. While unnaturally, everything were clear and everything were just like I announced. But well, keeps on making the same despite the generadazos on tell our chap what is he going to say, what is he going to do next. Tell me because of we do first. Every degenerado